Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Black Arrow Gaming. I am Bob, and we're back for more Age of Wonders 3. I've been gone for a week, which is why I did the 5 episodes. The last time you guys watched, I did 5 in a row. I am afraid I'm going to have to do that again. There are some plans I've got coming up next weekend, so I'm going to have another weekend off, and I'm going to record another 5 episodes today to try to make that up to you guys, at least somewhat. I know it's technically 5 episodes as opposed to the 6 you'd usually get, but it's the best I can do. I just can't do more than 5 episodes in one day. I got to get up and move around a little bit. But we do have a lot of feedback from you guys. I think there's a few comments that I want to talk about before I end this turn, and the rest I can kind of talk about in between turns. The stuff that I wanted to get through first, there was a lot of feedback about True Resurrect and how I'm using it, or rather how I'm not using it. And I just wanted to clarify for anybody who's wondering. There's a lot of units that I have intentionally passed up True Resurrect on. I know some of you may think I'm forgetting. This is actually a decision I'm making consciously because True Resurrect costs casting points, whereas I also can summon units with casting points. Now, I'll give it to you guys that True Resurrect does cost significantly less casting points than summoning something does. It's far cheaper in terms of casting points. But the crucial difference is that True Resurrected units, generally speaking, are going to cost gold to upkeep. So, in my economy, I am making 1,378 gold per turn and 1,283 mana, but that gold per turn seems to be varying very widely, and it's constantly being used. Whereas the mana is only being used in very limited amounts. Basically, what I want right now are summoned units that require mana to upkeep, if I can get them. Does that mean I'll never True Resurrect anything? Probably not. Like, I should probably still grab like a Mana Core Rider if I see one, or other maybe class-specific units I can't get otherwise. The main reason that I do plan on using True Resurrect is for Shadow Stalkers, because Shadow Stalkers are only a Tier 3 unit, so they're less expensive to maintain, but once you get them to Gold rank, they're almost a Tier 4 anyway, in terms of their combat abilities with their physical resistance and their ability to freeze things. So that's kind of my line of thinking with that. I'm planning to use True Resurrect sparingly. Now, one thing I did screw up about it, and I will attribute the correct person the comments for this in a little bit later in this episode. I should have checked this before I started, but my Necromancer went down here in the underground somewhere in a recent episode. There he is. He died, and then I just used the regular Hero Resurrection spell on him for some reason when I had True Resurrect anyway, and it would have actually been cheaper to use True Resurrect in that case. In fact, I think it would have been cheaper to use it regardless. So yeah, I don't know why I didn't do that. That was a mistake on my part, because True Resurrect actually costs less than Resurrect Hero. So there's really no reason not to use it if a hero goes down. But anyway, I just wanted to cover that real quick. And also, before I forget to do this, I think this is the number one most important thing that I noticed. And I'm actually a little bit surprised nobody noticed this, although it would be very hard, if not almost impossible, to spot. I'll give you that. But I noticed something after I finished recording the last episode a couple weeks ago. Look who it is right here. Now, granted, it would have been, like I said, almost impossible to tell from the tiny little embarked horse on the ship there, but that is Elsewhere right there, the rogue leader. And she's got to go. She's like number one target priority, got to get rid of her. So I'm going to close this. Now, that army right there, granted, I don't know what's behind it, but that army right there is not great. 3 Ravens, Hellhound, Succubus, and then their leader herself. Not very impressive. The thing is, I've got this Wisp sitting right here, and I would not be surprised if the AI thinks, ooh, free kill, and comes out here to try to kill that. At which point they could then, let's see, how far exactly can they go? They can move pretty far in one turn. Maybe further than I gave them credit for. So I don't really know where they'll go after they kill that, but odds are they'll hit that, and then it looks like they would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more spaces of movement afterwards, so they could 3, 4, 5. They could retreat all the way back up that river. This changes things a little bit, because if they do go after that Wisp, I want to be able to pick them off with some of my units. So I'm going to split this army up here a little bit, send the Flyers out ahead, and what I'm actually going to do is move them probably just a central position here, and then I can take Artica and the Archangel and move them just a little further. And this gives me a pretty good view of this area. I mean, with Artica's vision range, there's nothing that's going to sneak up on me. I think she's got True Sight going for her as well. Pretty sure I got that. If I didn't, I probably should. Yeah, she's got True Sight, so nothing's going to sneak up on this army. If they come down and grab that, depending on where they go next, I may get an opportunity to pick them off. Now, it is going to be a little dangerous, at least, because I'll be flying into an area that I'm not necessarily familiar with. But I can always use... Well, actually, never mind. Mogwai's kind of in the other place. But I've still got this Wisp here to kind of check things out over here to see what's going on. I've got this Wisp here to see if there's anything in the water over here I should be worried about. So it's more or less the ball's in their court. I'm going to see what they do, and if I get an opportunity, I will try to pick her off. Because at the very least, that's going to buy me 3 turns from whatever point she would have cast Age of Deception. So that's kind of the big thing that I noticed that I wanted to talk about. A few of your comments I think we should go through before getting started. Athena Tenno did mention that Weakening Breath would AoE stun, but apparently the Divine Vengeance staff doesn't. Which I think is odd, like from a mechanical perspective. I don't know why an item, because it's an item that grants a separate ability, right? So the Weakening Breath item, Gas Breath or whatever it was that I could have kept for Artica, and I think I sold it, that would have AoE stunned anything that was hit with it. But this Divine Vengeance staff, which is also an item that adds an ability called Divine Vengeance, which is an AoE attack, this doesn't, and I don't know why. So, granted, I'm not going to test this on camera. I'm going to take Athena's word for this, because I think what needs to be done is, if that is the case, this item should go to... Did I just click the right item there? Yeah, okay. This item should go probably to Zari. And the reason for that is that Zari has, well, among other things, she's going to have really good items. She'll be... The Divine Vengeance staff is kind of something you want on a unit that's going to be up close in the middle of combat, because you're hitting a bunch of AoE units around them. In Zari's case, she also has Vigilant, which means after using it, she will enter defense mode, which makes her uniquely suited to make use of it, especially when she has all her other items that are going to make her a force to be reckoned with in melee. So I am going to send that to Zari, and we will keep the current items down here for my Sorcerer. I'm going to close this. And so good call on Athena's part, if you are indeed correct about that. Like I said, I'm taking her word for it, but I'm okay with doing that. She's usually right about stuff like this. From Impregnable, let Brodal make items instead of the capital, and let the capital build the Grand Palace. So I've actually already made some moves over here just to save some time. But yes, I did add what I ended up deciding to do instead of that. But I did give Brodal the Vampire Sword, so it's got that in the queue. I am still going to let the Mana Vault finish first. But I'm keeping the Vampire Sword in this city because I'm assuming I'm going to want one for a different hero as well, possibly the Warlord, as long as he doesn't already have one. Let me flip over and check real quick. Do you already have... Actually, no, he's got a sword that I sort of like better. You know what, I might be able... You know, I'm going to close that. Yeah, I actually like his melee weapon better because of Fear Strike. So I'm going to take this off here for now. But that basically gets Zari's equipment done a little bit faster because that sword's going to Zari. I'm actually leaving the collar that I'm making for Zari over here. I'm going to leave that in my capital and let the capital finish that because it's still going to... This stuff's still going to all finish around the same time. That'll finish in 2 turns. This stuff will be done in 3 turns. And this stuff will be done in 3 turns. Now, I think I was talking in the oh, yeah, and after this is done, I am going to follow Impregnable's advice. We should get a Master's Guild here, so a Grand Palace here. So I'll finish the Master's Guild there. And let's see, we got the Shrine and the Storehouse. So I'll probably do I'll do the Shrine first, because the city doesn't really need growth so much. Mana Vault can wait. Yeah, all that other stuff can wait. So we'll just kind of let this go through like that. And then let's see. The only other thing is... Oh, yeah. So with regard to these items, and I think I have insert username for this, I was talking about like having this guy kind of like just run around by himself and send these items off as they go. And it was basically pointed out to me, why wait? Like just build a couple other units and get them over there. Um, what I decided to do was this city here has I've basically redone its build order to give it an ice scaper, because it can finish an ice scaper in one turn, and because of this quarry, the elf city can finish an initiate in one turn. So I'll just let the ice scaper get done. He can run over here and sit here, the initiate can sit in here, and then basically the 3 cities that are producing items will each have a tier 1 unit in them, or the 3 cities that have the capability to produce items will all have a unit just sitting in them. There's really no reason for me not to do that. It's very, very minor upkeep cost for the convenience. So I just went ahead and fixed that up. And let's see, there was one more thing, and I apologize. I meant to mark this as one to go over immediately and then forgot. But the Grand Palace and... Oh, yeah. So from Nelnico and Impregnable, the Grand Palace and Nuxbrom could block the Frostling City from getting the library. So just to let you guys know, in case anyone else notices, yes, when this Grand Palace is finishes, it's going to basically be stealing the library from this city, which I want this library to be in this city. However, Impregnable had a really good point. Because this city is growing in 5 turns, and the Draconian city is growing in 9, what I can do is when this Grand Palace finishes, I'm just going to let it finish. And then this borders will go over it. But before this city's borders grow, what I can do, or even after they grow, it doesn't really matter, I basically have to do it before this city's borders grow, is sell the observatory. And that'll shrink the size back down. You know what, I might do that anyway, actually, just so I don't forget, because I could see myself forgetting. So yeah, that city is gonna grow, but then we're gonna just sell the observatory right afterwards. And then the size, it'll grow, but then it'll shrink on the very next turn. And then the Frostling City's borders will eventually expand to cover it, and then I can just rebuild the observatory here. I technically probably should wait to do that, but research is not really at a point where it really matters. So whether or not I have that observatory, the only thing it's going to affect is the happiness of the city slightly, but the city is already at cheerful, and I don't really need the research from the library. It would just give me like maybe 6 more mana a turn, but I'm not really that worried about mana at this point. I'm more worried about forgetting to sell that before the city grows again, because then I will have trouble getting this back under the city's control. But yes, good eye there. I didn't actually notice that, and I will make sure that that doesn't become an issue. And then finally, the last comment that I need to go over, at least before moving on with my turns, is Simon Shishalarm. Take a look at the enemies on the info screen and specifically noting how many independent cities they've vassaled or declare war on. This is something I really need to get in a habit of doing in these series, like every time, whenever I meet the computers in one of these games. So I've kind of done a rough adding this up, but basically the 2 things we're looking for in here are made independent city a vassal and declared war on independence. The making them a vassal means, well, they got a vassal, they may have incorporated them in their empire. Declaring war on independence means presumably they took that city-state over by force. This is a good rough estimation of how big the opponent's empire is. As you can see, the Druid made 1 independent city a vassal and declared war on independence 6. That's a total of 7. Dova here is got 3 and 8, so that's 11, meaning Dova's probably a little more powerful than the Druid. Elsewhere is actually one of the weakest, and actually might be the weakest, which is very encouraging. Declared war on independence 5 and made a city a vassal 2, so that's a total of 7. I think that's actually on par. So yeah, tied with the Druid there at pretty low at 7. Frodo has got 7 as well, so he's also kind of tied for the bottom. The one that scares me a little bit here is the Dreadnought. As you can see, he's got 16, made 6 cities a vassal, and declared war on independence 10 times. This guy has been busy. And that's scary because the Dreadnought is, generally speaking, probably, in terms of raw power, the hardest one to punch through. They were in my last game because they got really big and strong, and it looks like the same thing might be happening in this one. Although I do think the sorcerer is a bit better to deal with it because of all their electrical attacks and stun stuff. So I think I may have a little bit easier time handling that than I did in my Theocrat series. So I think I said Warlord, but I meant the Theocrat series. The Theocrat is not a very good match for a Dreadnought, which is part of the reason why they gave me so much trouble in that series. I think the Sorcerer will be a little better at it. Ganon over here bought favor or made independent cities a vassal. He's got a total of 7, so tied for the lowest. And Mogwai has 11, so Mogwai is kind of tied with the Sorcerer. So we got the Dreadnought seems to be in the lead, with Mogwai and the Sorcerer kind of in the middle, and the rest of them all sort of tied at the bottom, not doing super great. So my reading of this then is that like the Dreadnought's probably on an edge. The odd thing about this is that the Dreadnought, I know they have a city here, so maybe that's one they bought. I don't know. But if their Empire is here, like, because I know the Halflings are here, right? It would seem odd to me that the Dreadnought would be over here. I don't know why. It doesn't seem like there's enough room to fit a massive empire like that in here. Because I know this was Mogwai's city. This is Elswere's stuff here. So Mogwai, Elswere. There's a Dreadnought city here and then a Halfling here. There's just not enough room for the Dreadnought to really be here. And I haven't seen any of their units running around this area. So I'm kind of thinking this is like a random city they just met and bought. I think they're actually located somewhere else, most likely. But we'll have to wait a few turns and see as my scouts move in and get a better sense of what's going on in the area here. Check that guy off. And I think at this point, I'm going to throw down a quick save here, and then we can kind of just carry on. Like I said, there's other comments to talk about, but it's stuff that I think we can do in between turns. Some of it is acknowledgments of my own errors. I did have someone point out to me that I missed a tree here. So open, no, not end turn. Open spellbook and fertilize land. We'll just take care of that tiny little thing there. My mana capacity is going to be exceeded between this turn and next. There is pretty much nothing I can do about that as far as I know. I think I've gotten literally every other possible tile I could terraform to be to the liking of my cities has been terraformed. So I'm more or less stuck with things the way that they are, it seems. I guess I could... Can I terraform inside of a vassal city that I don't actually own? I don't think so. I think I tried this in the last episode. Oh wait, I can. Okay. So we can do a few more fertilized lands here for those humans. Try to be nice. But I think that's it, guys. Yeah. So I'm just going to head to the next turn, and we will go through some of the other comments. Now, I do need to kind of pop in and pay attention here. I'm actually going to zoom in on this because we'll see what Elswere does. I'm going to have to try to pay attention when it circles around to her turn. I want to see where she goes. That's the main thing right now. So Sir Bob the Vigilant is moving. Let's talk about Giannis MPA asked if can vision range stack. And basically, the idea here was, can you stack vision range on the same item multiple times? Now, I think Giannis may have been playing with a mod, because Giannis mentioned in the Arcane Forge being able to stack that multiple times. I just checked before starting this episode, you cannot stack vision on itself in the item forge, and it can only go on headgear, so you can't like put it on a different type of item either and then add it to a unit that already has headgear. Now my main leader already has a HUD item that gives +2 vision range that's like an in-game generated item, so that's actually as good as that person's vision range is going to get. You can, of course, being flying gets you more vision, on a flying mount, but that's not something that you can do in the item forge. Good idea, though. Stacking vision range would be awesome, but it's not something that I'm going to be able to do. Also from Giannis MPA and Arch Redbeard, I sold a Gazer's Eye that was in my inventory with the Doom Gaze item, which I did not realize gave units +1 physical range strength just for having it sitting in your inventory. That's something I should have paid more attention to. Okay, so it's Elswere's move. But yes, that item would have been probably one I should have kept. Now, I do think that for 500 gold, it is still pretty good deal getting that. That's a lot of money that I can do a lot of stuff with. But to be fair, I did not realize that that would have been a very nice item for either my druid or for Iggy to just boost their range strength to even more absurd levels than it already is. I think that's something I probably should have done. But what's done is done, so we'll have to move on without it. Now I'm still got my eye on elsewhere. That okay? I thought she was taking the bait. Which space did she start on there? And I think I counted that she could go 5 spaces further than the Wisp. She took as tight of an angle around there as I can. So using this, I can roughly calculate where she is. Well, actually, I don't really need to roughly calculate anything. I can just use the Wisp to scout that out. All right, so cool. I kind of know where she went and can sort of roughly estimate if I need to. From Boro Pogobog, missed opportunities to seduce or dominate some gluttons in episode 39. I think that was probably with my warlord. Again, it kind of, well, see, seducing or dominating is something I should still probably be trying to do because that actually costs no casting points at all. So there's really not much of a reason for me not to do that. Especially for units like gluttons, which would be really nice considering all the water that's around me and the fact that they can swim. They would make for a good navy force in this massive ocean lake area that kind of cuts the map in half. So yeah, probably should have done that if I'm being perfectly honest with everybody. And that's something I will try to keep in mind. I miss conversion opportunities more often than I should. From Blurry Intervision and Sarah Feingold, cast Keeper's Creed to give the AI something else to disjunct. This is a comment that I'm probably not going to implement this, but I do think it was a good enough idea to merit being talked about. So the idea here was casting a different, smaller global spell to give all the rest of the AI something else to gang up on and try to disjunct. The main reason I'm not going to do this at this stage of the game is 2 reasons. First off, I've met these computers a few turns ago, and by now they're probably already disjuncting Age of Magic. They're probably already in the process of disjuncting it. So if I cast a different global spell, I don't think they'll shift and try to disjunct that instead. I think they'll probably finish the one they've already started, would be my assumption. So the other reason that I'm not going to probably do that is because of what I talked about beforehand, I think in some recent episodes. Right now, I'm not reinforcing Age of Magic. I'm just assuming it's going to get disjuncted, and because of that assumption, I'm just spending this time summoning as many units as I possibly can to get as much out of Age of Magic as I can while it is still active. Once it is gone, then yeah, maybe I'll throw up Keeper's Creed or something, just give something to distract the computers. But I think that for the time being, I'm going to leave things the way that they are and just keep summoning units as fast as I can. But I thought that was a good idea, and so I wanted to mention it. Again, that was Blurry Intervision and Sarah Feingold. From Sarah Feingold specifically, well, okay, we got to deal with... Aw, there goes my monkey. You jerks. Okay, well, we're not going to be able to win that one, so... Turn off cast spells and auto-combat. And then auto-combat, and goodbye, monkey. You did a great job. Domain invasion in one of my cities. We'll have to check that out in a minute. Oh, hello. Ah, dang it. This one I might actually be able to run away from. Let me see if I can get away with this, because there's no spiders that phase in here. Granted, they are all faster than normal spiders, but I'm going to try to do the Lost Soul tactic of just moving just close enough to keep them from using their full movement to come at me, exploiting the game's AI a little bit. It's the big one that can... Oh, almost screwed up there. That's why you check. It looks like they're making the same mistake that the Lost Souls frequently do. Despite the fact that they do have more movement overall. Glad I didn't auto this one, because it looks like I'm going to get away with this. Okay, that one sped up a little bit this time. Cutting through here looks good. Question is, where should I go on the next move? Because, well, hang on. It's turn 5, right? So it doesn't matter. Just get out of range, and I think I'm fine. Aha! Losers. Alright, my horse gets away. Unfortunately, they're blocking the path I would like to take to just blow right past them, but I'll just go up the road in the other direction. It's fine. So we'll close that. And we are at the next turn. So we'll continue with the comments, starting with Seraph Feingold on the in-between turns on the next turn. First things first, let's do a quick save just in case something locks up so I don't have to sit through that again. And here we are. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but first things first, I should have just gotten Sage. Or not Sage, All-Knowing. And that's gonna probably be in here somewhere. Where is that? Empire Quest completed. All-Knowing. Okay, great. I did get it. Close. So, I can open up my research. And what do we get? It looks like I got, okay, cool. I got, a level of, the first level of fire and the first level of creation magic, it looks like. Probably not the best, but better than nothing. And let's see, we got, so Cleanse the Land. That one doesn't really matter much, other than maybe clearing corrupted springs and stuff that the halfling may have screwed up. Summon Hellhound is useless. Domain of the Sun is probably, well, Domain of the Sun could come in handy because of all that volcanic terrain, especially if I follow the advice from Impregnable about, well, something that I'll get to soon. Bless is kind of always a nice buff, but I don't think that I'm going to use that much. Fireball, basic fire damage, unlikely to be that useful. May be handy for sniping something. Hellhound, like I said, useless for me. Domain of Life, temperate terrain, could be nice for some of the human cities to just boost their happiness. Actually, between this and this, the Domain of Life and Domain of the Sun, those actually are pretty useful because I already get happiness bonuses from the Frostlings for being in the snow, but if the rogue gets their spell up, having this to cast on like human cities and fertile plains, and this to cast on like draconian cities, or really anything that I build in all the volcanic terrain, could actually help defend against some of the rogue's stuff. And then of course Holy Cure, just a basic healing spell. I guess that's nice to have. And Skin of Oil. This one actually could come in pretty handy. Especially when combined with the Draconian apprentices that I'm going to have. So we'll see. I think these are good enough. I'll just pick whatever one I'll probably grab these combat ones real quick. So maybe we'll start with Holy Cure. Actually, hang on. I think I can get these all in one turn. I didn't think about that. I've got 132. Oh, wait, no, I had a research breakthrough somewhere. Okay, I wasn't really paying attention. Crap. I probably should have done these slightly differently. It doesn't really matter now. I'll just get Blessed, but I don't think... I'll grab Fireball, because that can come in handy for sniping stuff. The rest of them I'm just going to have to research manually, so that's fine. We'll just do Cleanse the Land, I guess. Or I'll just get another combat spell for now. Alright, well, see ya, losers. I'm going back this way. I wish these guys had night vision. For some reason I feel like well, no, I guess this isn't the Nightmare. This is the other kind of horse. And there's more stuff here to fight with me. I'm gonna just try to zip past them going northwest real quick, but I do anticipate he will probably get attacked and killed by bandits on the next turn, so That's unfortunate, but it happens. Race governance level up with the goblins. Alright, so there's the Swarm Darter buff, and the farms and domain of goblin cities generate more gold. That's one that I gotta actually look at. I don't remember. I think it's 20 gold for farms, but I don't think I have goblin cities with farms. I will have one down here, which, was I planning on building that here or just sticking it down in the corner here? So I build it here, it's kind of a choke point spot, but I sort of already have a choke point spot. I actually want to think about this for a second because... Oh wait, this is the build. No, this is the settler. I never did get a builder down here. So unfortunately, I'm going to miss out on some wetlands. If I build it here, it's going to get that and it'll grow quickly, and then it'll get a farm and grow quickly. I think I kind of like this choke point spot better. Sort of nestled into the mountains here. So I'm going to make use of that. I probably, actually on that note, I really should have started building the city on the last turn. But that's okay. We'll just do this. Bebjanwa, because I accidentally hit W. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually would kind of rather have it there for just the strategic positionment of the city. I should have built that on the last turn and I didn't. So that's my bad. I am going to leave this blocked off to force anything that comes through here to go the way that I want them to go. And we're going to get this guy out of here. I know there's a few things I could still dig over there safely, but there's other places he can go. So anyway, race governance level up. Back to this. So we got one farm in that city. We've got... We're not going to have any farms in that city. But I also don't really see myself building a lot of swarm darters. But I just don't see myself having a lot of farms either. I think... Let's see here. The swarm darters are primarily would be a good counter to elves shooting arrows at me, but I'm gonna have... the thing is, I'm gonna have elf archers that are just gonna be better range units regardless, because they'll be way tankier than the swarm darters will. I probably will never build swarm darters, if I'm being perfectly honest with myself. So I think the right call is the plus 20 gold for farms, because that will add up. Like, that's quite a bit of gold per farm. And even if I'm only getting plus 20 gold per turn out of one farm, I still think that's worth more than just having a bonus, health bonus on a unit that I will probably never use. So we're gonna do the farm one, because 20 gold's kind of a lot for one tile. Domain invasion over here. I don't know what that was all about, but it's gone now. Item has arrived. Okay, we got a short bow for this guy. I will probably upgrade that to a long bow eventually. Actually, I think... Oh, that does give him razor projectiles. That's probably why I gave it to him. It's an item I'll never use, but it's an item that he can carry and will inflict bleeding on things, so we'll leave that with him for now. He also got this cool Pounce, Claws of the Prowler, which I think is... Pounce is more useful than those pants. I will probably go ahead and just sell these. Yeah, I'll just get rid of those. I would much rather him have Pounce. Pounce is great on a Warlord. And then he also got his healing, finally. So I'm going to move that. He's already got mosquito darts. I'm going to move the healing item kind of higher up in the list. We'll put the chicken towards the back. Let's see, we got a join offer from this Tigran city. I can't do that right now, not until this is gone, which actually I think that will be gone on this turn, because Zari's closing in on it. I've got a different battle to do in the Sphinx Temple first, though, so maybe we do all this now. We'll decide who goes in here. I think I'll move Zari up first to take a peek at what I'm up against. Oh, God, crap. I forgot. The main thing I was trying to do was get over there and clear that first. It's okay. There's hasteberries there. I can I can make use of that. I forgot this army was actually going this way to deal with that bandit camp there. So what I can do is I'll pull Zari back. We'll get the haste. I was going to use these guys to get the haste berries, but I think they're going to have to wait now because I kind of screwed this up. All right, Zari, you come here and get the haste berries because now you've used a bunch of your movement. Then you guys cut straight across unless you float. Okay, the floating units, the flying units are better off cutting straight across. The floating units, not so much. I want the ferry. That's 28. Ferry's a little slower than most of these other units, but flyers also can't move quite as far. I'm trying to get that Nightshade Ferry in Zari's army, so I think she's gonna move this way anyway. I want the Node Serpent in that. Wait, what the crap? What did I just do? I didn't mean to move everybody. Bob, what are you doing? Okay, get back. You go there. Zari goes here. The snake I want in on this because he's about to evolve, and when he does, I think he'll get all his movement back. And then probably the bear. I want one of those bears because they're just awesome. And I think maybe a spider. This is looking like a pretty stacked army here. Or just one of the flyers. They're already very good, and they're very mobile. They've got killing momentum. That one's a champion too, so he's probably the one I would send along with them. The spider is not going to be able to... Well, actually, the spider will level up in one more fight. Let's see who's in here. Probable victory. Oh, there's a Dread Reaper in there. That actually is quite concerning. I think Zari might be able to smite him a bunch before he has a chance to invoke death on anything. But yeah, that's scary. I think I did pick up Fireball. I could blast him with that too. Oh, why did it have to be a Dread Reaper in here? I'm gonna probably do this anyway. I want to keep it out of range of Snake probably. I don't know. I'm knowing that's in here. I'll abort the attack and bring a flyer in. Or maybe that Gold Wyvern. It'll do bonus damage to it. And I wouldn't be quite as sad. You know what? I'll bring the Gold Wyvern in on this one because it does spirit damage. And if it gets killed, which I don't think it will. Oh yeah, it doesn't have any spirit resistance. I keep thinking it does because it makes logical sense to me that it would, but it doesn't. So we'll do manual combat. I'm probably going to have Zari try to smite that Dread Reaper before it becomes a huge problem. Unfortunately, it appears they are going to charge. Okay, the Wyvern may end up becoming a sacrifice in this one, because I'm going to back everybody up, especially those snakes. The Nightshade Fairies I don't need to worry about, and Zari herself is fine. She's got 100% Spirit Protect, so it's just like the Node Serpent. The Node Serpent definitely needs to back up. The bear needs to back up. And the Wyvern can stay forward because I'm kind of hoping he tries to... You know what? How much range does that thing have? 3? I think we might be able to trick him into trying it on the Wyvern. What I'm going to do is move the Wyvern here and leave him on defense. It is the only one that this guy can try to invoke death on this turn. Zari can protect somebody with Bestow Iron Heart, but I want her to smite instead. And we'll hope he moves right up into the middle of everything. So let's smite this guy. Okay, he resisted. They will probably heal him. I'm sure there's a reanimator back there that'll patch him up. Nice. Okay, good. He tried it on the Wyvern. That's what I wanted. Alright. And now he's let his guard down. So I should be able, with Holy Champion boosts on everything, I should be able to kind of wreck that thing now. I just need to make sure none of my other units... Well, actually, they've all got Divine Justicars, right? So... yeah, they all have Resurgence. So they'll come back if one of them dies. It's, I just kind of want to be careful with Zari. She will come back if... So I think there was some confusion about how Divine Justicars works in the Resurgence. Basically, if a unit has it at the point that they die, then they'll still come back. So if Zari dies at some point during this battle, Zari will come back. But if Zari dies and then something else, if Zari dies, then everything else will lose Divine Justicar's Resurgence at that point. So basically, anything that dies, if Zari survives, everything comes back. If anything dies before Zari dies, everything comes back. If anything dies after Zari dies, it won't come back, if that makes any sense. So, that being said, I actually don't think I'm going to lose anything here. I'm going to send the fairy... Actually, I kind of like the spot the fairy is in. It's going to turn the Reaper to face, and then Zari can go here and get a nice flank attack. Actually, it doesn't even matter. The snake could actually kill that thing with a flank attack. In fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do. It could panic the snake, which would kind of suck, but I could also give the snake the Bestow Iron Heart so that that doesn't happen, because I need him to keep moving on the next turn. Actually, what I could do is... would that... Bestow Iron Heart should get rid of a panic status after the fact, I think. So I could hit it with the snake first and see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Because the snake might not get panicked. Okay, he resisted it, so we're good. And they most definitely just leveled up. Okay. Because that snake just killed a Grim Reaper. For the bear, I think I'm going to use you to just keep that guy. For him, those Bone Collectors have that weird spirit protection. I think this guy would be better off dealing with them, because they have a chance to stun that thing. Why don't you go here and finish this guy off? You can go here. And I probably want to knock an action point off that thing. These guys have a ton of health, so they'll be okay. And then Zari can go here, and let's see, what could that thing do? I'm gonna go here and attack the wargs and just freeze them. Okay, cool. Ends that turn. Guys, once again, I forgot to check when I started recording, so I really have no idea. That's okay. I think we've still got a good ways to go in this episode. The Bone Collector stunned itself, so that's pretty good news. The snakes don't really need to do anything for the rest of this battle. Any XP on them is essentially wasted since they're going to evolve, so I'll try to focus it on other units. You know what this guy back here needs? I think he needs a bear friend. I'm going to turn him around. Okay, he's stunned, but he did get stunned on his turn, so we'll finish him off. And kind of want to heal a unit, but it's okay. It'll actually... You know what? I am going to heal somebody. Oh good, he froze himself trying to attack me. That's perfect. And I'm going to bestow Iron Heart on myself. Sorry there. And just finish off that warg. With probably, I want to give it to the bear. I want him to level up so he gets fearsome. Cool. Alright. So now we got a mature shock serpent. Great, great, great. Good stuff. 2 times backstab on Betrayer's Gift. But, like, I think, I see that and think, give it to Mogwai. Or not Mogwai, Iggy. But I need to check and see what Iggy has. He may already have something better. And even if he doesn't, he's primarily a ranged fighter at this point. So I'm not really sure if I should just take the money. I mean, it's a mythical item. I'll take it just because it's an interesting item, and I don't know that Iggy has anything better. So, well, maybe I should check first. So, close and zip over to Iggy here. He's just got a sword that gives him some fire damage and overwhelm, which is also mythical. I don't really think it fits very well with anybody. I guess the druid maybe could make use of it with a cool flank attack, but again, she's also primarily a melee fighter. I think I'll just send it to the druid. So I know where better to send it to. I probably should have sold that one. So I'm selling the items I should keep, and I'm keeping the items that I should sell, I guess. Just couldn't remember what Iggy had. You know what? I am going to send this to Iggy anyway, because I just want to see how many times you can stack backstab, and I think it could be fun. So we'll take the item and send it to Iggy. Every time I think of Iggy, or every time I say Iggy, I think of like the Koopa kid from Mario. Alright. So next up, we gotta kill some spiders, a whole bunch of them. And who needs to come along for that ride? I think the fairy... I'll leave the wyvern there. I think the I think that draconian flyer is more useful in this situation. Although everybody else can kind of make it back faster because of the road. You know what? We'll keep the flyer in there for now. Or the wyvern in there for now. Because the wyvern actually may end up splitting off and flying this direction to explore. It's kind of how I'm thinking I might use it. So, does it have night vision by chance? It does. It's a flying unit with night vision. Would make a great scout. So yeah, I'm going to leave them together for now. Go here. And we'll let the wyvern be the one to initiate this. See if any of the... Well, actually, you know what? I will do this with Zari because they're going to drop items. Units tremble in fear before you. I don't really know. I guess I want the XP, so we'll do no mercy. It's not like I'm worried about my alignment. I mean, I'm obviously the good guy here. We'll do a manual to make sure there's no funny web business that gets me killed, but it is another one of these, so these seem to be very easy to handle. I want that snake front and center. That's primarily why I wanted to do this fight. That snake needs XP. So I want to level him up to the big shock serpent as soon as I can. I'm going to go ahead and give him a Bestow Iron Heart buff, just to try to make sure nothing funny happens with him. We'll put the bear also up front. Wouldn't mind him having some XP. And you there can go zap that guy. I don't think there's any hunter spiders in this group. Oh wait, there is one way up there. Okay. They're trying to find a way around. Alright. That's all good with me. Well, he let his guard down. That was a mistake. Nice job. He's probably already pretty close to leveling up. I want this guy here, I think. Yes. I want him there. And Zari can touch by faith on... Well, we'll just stack buffs on the snake, I guess. And you can start zapping that thing. This guy will most likely teleport in here somewhere, so I guess I should be ready for that. It'll probably go here and bite the fairies in the back. Oh, they actually webbed that guy over there. Alright. Oh, it wanted to web the fairies. Okay. Now, is this guy in any danger? Not really. He's got plenty of health, so we've got time there. Okay. Took a little bit of a beating, but he's alright. I'm going to circle around. Well, actually, what I want to do is shoot that guy in the back with the fairies, if I can manage it. And possibly Zari. So why not just kill him? And can I... Ooh, that's a kill. Alright, good. That's what I was hoping for. I will heal the snake. And we'll just leave the bear on defense. Although I kind of do want to get some XP for the bear as well. Maybe I... Here's what I'll do. The bear deserves a kill, so we'll give him one. And then we'll move the snake out to here. Now we'll leave the snake where he's at. This guy will bite that serpent a bunch of times. I'm going to get rid of him with the fairies. And I guess actually I will move the snake out because then he can go after them and start working on XP towards the next level. Zari doesn't really have anything to do here. No healing that I can think of, so... Does break control work on webs? No, it does not. I didn't think so. Okay, well, I'll just end the turn. We're fine. Alright. More XP for the units that need it. Gonna close that. Rod of Lightning charge. This I am pretty sure I can sell. Yeah, we're selling that for gold. So the Wyvern is now going to go up in this direction and start exploring. And I can actually, if I move him carefully, I should be able to keep him around for a while. The only one problem here is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They should be able to move there. I think it's just because I have too many units on that spot. Try moving back. Okay. I want this little group with the Wyvern just for this moment, because if those spiders come back, they're going to need some help. So, plus maybe I can charm one of them. But the rest of this army needs to start heading back as fast as they can. And I don't want to split them up too much because, again, the spiders could come after them. So I'll let these ones go just a bit further down the road, but they'll stop there. Actually, Zari is the one that's going to slow everybody down here. But I guess it's a little too late. We'll just leave them the way they are. And then the flyers and the spiders can kind of hang out over here, I suppose. Just in case anything comes this direction, they should be able to handle it. And I'll just kind of leave those armies set up there, kind of like that for now. Alright, that's done. Is that actually the name of the city? Garragar, okay. I'm gonna have to exit for now. My units are finally kind of getting to this area. I think I might be able to actually accept that on this turn. They are forcing me to go around in kind of a funny way, which is annoying, but I can go like this. They've got Baron. Oh yeah, I've got Barons running on these guys. Did I make sure to just send one unit there? Okay. So I need to make sure that's only one. I'm gonna I think I can probably auto-combat this, but I'm gonna do a manual anyway, because I don't want the AI to do something stupid and takes damage, because the next battle these guys need to do on this turn will be a little bit harder. Now, these are... Okay, never mind. I probably could have just done auto. Okay, yeah, they're just going to get destroyed. Alright, that was maybe the most pointless manual combat I've ever done. Okay, close that, and I think I can still... Yes, good. I can still get him here, I can get them there, and then I can move in with this guy. And this says closely matched. This one I am going to manual, but I think I've got a pretty decisive advantage on this one. These are Tigran apprentices. They are going to mess up some undead. They are going to defend, though. It's the Deathbringers, primarily, that I need to kind of try to keep off of me. Okay, well, they're going to let me do this, so... I guess that's pretty neat. That guy's going to teleport into a really annoying spot. Okay. They always do. The problem with these guys is that I can't really... You just sort of have to move out of their range and let them hit you. But once you do, you can light them up pretty good. I'm going to make sure I move him here. I kind of want to move him there because I'm not sure. Well, I think this will be okay. Yeah, that's still perfectly good spot. I need... The problem is I don't know if I can kill this guy here. I mean, I can... If I get lucky with the stun... Okay, I'm going to get lucky with the stuns. That's going to be what saves me here. Okay. You jerk. Forgot he would have his movement when he came back. I should have just melee attacked there. Alright, well, bottom line is that worked. Those guys are gone. I could have true resurrected one of them, but that's okay. I can produce those guys for dirt cheap. And they're basically just going to be here to guard this dragon den, to be honest. That's Elemental Slayer, Salt for Gold. Alright, well, that more or less takes care of these guys' job. As far as I know, this dragon dwelling is now secure to bring into my empire. As to whether I will be able to actually ever make use of dragons, we'll find out. I do have a surplus of gold at the moment. I just need to maybe sort of think about which type of dragons are going to be most useful. I think the one that's probably the most broadly useful is going to be the fire one. I think, especially if the dreadnought's going to be a problem. The problem is that the fire one, the flame tanks are immune to fire, but I think a normal juggernaut is not. Let me check. Juggernaut units. Okay, they don't have any fire weakness, which is what I was kind of hoping they did. I think the easier way to do this might be to look at the diplomacy menu. So we've got a High Elf Druid. What's best against him? Against him, probably not the Spirit Dragons. The Druids have some Spirit-resistant units. So, not Spirit Dragons. The other two probably equally as useful, at least as long as we're dealing with a High Elf. The Draconian is going to be resistant to... The Draconian will be weak to Frost. And so will the Rogue. Frodo, not so much, but I think Zari's army is going to smash Frodo once they get close. So I'm not that worried about that. So far I'm thinking possibly ice. The dwarf is also going to have some fire immune units. The forge priests are one. Firstborn, I think, are both fire and frost resistant, or possibly immune. The orcs doesn't really matter. And I don't think it really matters with Mogwai. I guess with the orcs, since it's a theocrat, probably not spirit dragons. Also not spirit dragons. There's a lot of reasons not to build spirit dragons, is what I'm seeing here. I think I'm leaning towards frost, but it'll probably end up being a balance between frost and fire. I'm gonna go with frost, I think, for starters. You guys can let me know your thoughts on that if you have differing opinion, but I'm thinking overall frost is probably the most reliable, and the frost dragons can inflict freeze. I'm gonna look up what the fire dragon's ability is, but I don't think it's as useful as inflict freeze. So a frost dragon gets inflict chilling, they got all the fearsome stuff, and then at gold rank they get inflict freezing cold. The fire dragon at gold rank gets inflict immolation, which in my opinion is not as useful as inflict freezing cold. So yeah, I think frost dragons it is. Burrow of Frost. And we'll go ahead and do the incubation chamber as well. Just get that stuff started. I'm thinking I'm not going to hurry production on this. The city's not really happy enough to manage it. Maybe I'll do it later on when I'm building something that really takes a long time. But for these, I'm okay with just kind of letting them go. These guys, these three are going to basically just sit in that city for now. I don't intend on doing anything else with them. So they'll just go in there and go on guard mode, just in case there's any unscrupulous little undead minions floating about. The Ice Scaper is done here, and that's back to produce housing. So this guy is the one who's going to... yeah, this one's going to Borndal. And this person is going to go to the city out here. He just barely can't make it. Alright, check that off. Race governance level up with the Frostlings. That's good. Frost weapons now inflict frostbite. And... oh, I think that's the one I want. Let me check something. Because I'm pretty sure I've got a couple armies down here. So I don't think the Frost Giants have actual frost weapons, per se. I think that's specific to the Frostlings as a race, yeah. So it's only... frost weapons. Do these guys even have frost weapons? Apparently not. If that's the case, then why even bother? It looks like they do, but... and they already have inflict frostbite, it's inherent. There's no reason to get that. Yeah, there's no reason for me to get that. I'm going to get the economic one. I don't think frostbite's even really necessarily that useful. This makes the Frost Castle cheaper, but more importantly, the Frostling... the most important thing about this is the Frostling Ice Queen is 25% cheaper to build. So yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer. I'm picking that one. Summon Archangel is ready. Not 100% sure where I want to put that yet. Foos can discuss alliance proposal. Yes, I get more vassals on this turn, which is always nice. Join offers. The Naga down here. I know I've been putting this off. Maybe it was for money reasons, but I think, again, I think I might actually tell them to stop bothering me. It's 318 gold. You know what? Having another city to make matriarchs couldn't be bad, right? I've got money now. Why not go ahead and absorb some of this stuff? I'm pretty sure all the bandits in this area are cleared as far as I can tell. There's just dirt walls. The only possible place is in here, but I have not seen any movement of anything coming from this direction. Those guys just finished clobbering a bandit camp. I kind of want to send them up here to see what's in this little zone. Which I can do that now. So, don't really need that. Those are primarily research structures. So I'm not going to go out of my way to clear them and waste time. I think I just kind of want everybody to head up. Alright. You go back, join up with him. You guys can run up there. And on the next turn, they can kind of clobber their way through those halflings and cut off that road. And at that point, I will make a at that point, I will probably absorb this. I'm just sort of holding off until I know for sure what's over here. I don't want to lose a vassal city unnecessarily. Zari's beetle egg hatched, but it's not needed. Although, I might hang on to it because it does give her tunneling. So it's like an item I could use to have her tunnel through an area if she needs to. The other thing I could do is give it to Karnak. I may actually do that instead. I kind of like the idea of him having a big beetle. That gives him night vision, blight protection, greater webbing touch. I think night vision comes inherent to dragons, or draconians. I can find it in this list somewhere. There it is. No, it's coming from the dread spider. Does this guy have night vision? That is inherent. Okay. Is Zari's item... Overwhelm, blight protection, wall crushing, and tunneling. Does he have any units that tunnel? He does not. Zari doesn't either. But I don't suspect... I think this would be better suited on the Necro, the Draconian Necro. So we'll send it his way. That can get over there in 2 turns, so it's not too bad. Durkin discussed joint offer. That's 194 gold. It's also presumably not safe. I don't know enough about this. Oh, it's definitely not safe. That is most definitely not safe at all. In fact, we're going to uncheck that. Okay, Mana Vault is done here, so I'm working on that sword, which is going to go to Zari. Close that. Let's see, this guy is just chilling here, so he can continue to stay there. And I did finish an item in this city. It's almost done. I got a festival for more mana, yay. Festival in Cabalg. Finally, somebody gave me gold. It's about time. I think he works. Public baths done in the human city, and actually I need to probably queue up more than just one thing here. We'll do the Masters Guild first. What are we at, 113? Yeah, that makes sense, because the Masters Guild's another 15. Then that'll let the city build the hospital in 2 turns instead of 3, and then I can work on the temple, and then probably the laboratory is the lowest priority. Alright, cool. Alright, I think everybody's looking good there. Hey, let's clear Lich Castle. That sounds like fun. So if I move here, I can go in here. Everybody's got Blood Brothers, I believe. Strong Will, yep. So we're good to go clobber some undead. Closely matched, huh? I think those Archangels have something to say about that. I just kind of need to keep the Shock Trooper and the Big Beetle out of this one, but the Archangels are going to do just fine. Oh, you know what? I think this might have been where I was planning to summon another one. Yeah, I think I was going to summon another Archangel before coming in here. Oops. Is okay. They can't invoke death on anything. In fact, I may leave these units to where they can easily run away if they absolutely have to. So kind of on the edges there. And I want to lure the Dread Reapers into fighting the Archangels. So I'll leave one here in range of both of them, and I'll leave the other one here in range of both of them. The Eldritch Horror should do pretty well for itself. Giron is probably going to back up and give maybe Touched by Fate to that. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of buffing this guy. And then I don't really know what to do with the Eldritch Horror. I think I'll leave the Eldritch Horror right here in the middle of everything. And that's about as good of a setup as I can get here, I think. Alright, attack the Archangels. Do it. Okay, well that's fine if he wants to go after the Eldritch Horror. Is all good. I do have Life Drain. Just something I consistently forget about with these Reapers, and it gets me in trouble. Okay, I stunned that one, so that's great news because it means it's an easy kill for the Beetle. Gives the Beetle actually something useful to do. This guy can keep this Reaper busy for a while. He's not going to kill me anytime soon. And it looks like I need some help out here for these guys, so... Let's see, what is the best thing I can do here? Best thing I could do is probably give somebody Star Blades, but I'm not going to be able to do that right now. I think I need to focus on killing the Reapers one at a time. Or draining their action points. But this guy having Touched by Faith does help. Alright, here's the plan. We're getting a lot of stuff piled up over here. This Reaper is more or less out of commission for this turn. He's got one move, but it's not much. The Angel, if I move her here, is in an okay position, but it's not great. These guys both have 3 action points. Now I could drain all of that, guys, with this Shock Trooper. I could actually drain... Alright, I think I know what I'm gonna do. Giron might die here, but if he does, I'll just True Resurrect him. I'm gonna build up a charge with a War Cry and just go in for the biggest hit I can get on that guy. And he's gonna life drain me, but that's okay, because right now I just need to lower his action points and distract him. That leaves him with a few. This guy back here, I kind of want to drain action points off of. She is facing the wrong way, so she's going to get flanked pretty hard. But the Archangels will come back if they die. So I think I'm going to have this one go pick a fight with this Dread Reaper here. Just to, again, lower action points. Just unit management right now. I may actually want to cast a spell here. I've got an awful lot of options. I don't actually, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on that. True Resurrect will get me anyone back if they die. So I can exploit that pretty well. This guy has 2 action points left. I'm gonna take 2 off of this guy probably. And that's as much as I can do. So they're all somewhat limited in what they can do on this turn. Okay, he really wants to flank that angel. That's fine. Okay, that was okay. I'm fine with that. The Eldritch Horror can get a bite in the back on this guy, but I might actually use... No, I don't want to use that with the Archangel standing right there. Kind of need... She's kind of in the way. Okay. I think the Big Beetle's job is probably going to be to stand there and keep that Deathbringer from coming back. So I just don't want to deal with that, and he's not going to do much to these undead. I think it's time for me to really make an effort to kill one of these guys, and I think it's going to be this one. Goodbye. That's weird. It looks like she's standing on his spot. She's actually standing there. Little glitch. Why don't you... You know what? I just need him to turn this unit around, not risk his life. Oh, she just decided to move back. Okay. Okay, there goes another one. At least these guys don't have Undying, since they blow up when they die. This guy with Touched by Faith is going to be able to Warcry and tank as many hits as he wants from the Dread Reaper. And just use up all his action points. That Dread Reaper might kill that Archangel, but she's got Resurgence, so I don't need to worry about that. Really. I should spin the camera here. Alright, he did not kill her. Which means I can get a free hit with Garen on that guy. And it's just 2 to go. Again, gonna use the Orc for the same thing. Was not expecting him to be the tanky one in this group, but he is doing just fine, so... That Touched by Faith is really doing some work. I'll run up behind this guy and get a nice charge attack. And the Archangel can most likely finish him off. I'm going to actually have this Archangel defend for a moment. This guy's gonna blow up when he dies. It shouldn't kill the Orc, but it might come close. No, it didn't really come close at all. We're fine. Alright, so this Archangel can then stab this guy. Alright, I got an idea. Move him here, get a stab, then send this Archangel here to heal this Archangel, and then she can finish off that last Dread Reaper. Alright, got it. That was a little tougher than I originally anticipated, because I was planning to bring another Archangel in on that. But that's okay. Ooh, another good item that gives Fearsome. Oh, that's interesting. And an item that gives Frost Breath. Hey, that's nice. Because I know where that's going. And Mass Curse. Okay. Take that. Those are actually some pretty dang good rewards. So I got one item that gives this guy Fear Strike, and I got another item that gives him Fearsome. They're both weapons. I think the Fearsome item is going to have to go to somebody else. This is going to Artica for that AoE Inflict Stun. Yep. And the item that gives Fearsome probably going to go to the Draconian... Wait, where was he? There he is. Might swap that for the Inflict Frostbite axe. I don't think he has Fearsome already. I actually don't think that's something he even gets. But yeah, I like that item a lot. Zari's already going to have it, because she's got a piece of headgear that's going to give her fearsome. I'm going to leave this guy with Fierce Strike, because I can make him a piece of headgear that gives him fearsome. So this will go to the Draconian. Alright, cool. Glad that battle's over. Well, since I didn't summon our Archangel down there, I guess it leaves me free to summon one elsewhere if I need it. Possibly actually in or near elsewhere. The Rogue. So... let's see. Nair 2 is just... oh yeah, that needs to upgrade to a Stone Fortress. So we'll get that process started. I think I have a Settler on the way, don't I? I thought I had one. I'm sure I'll cycle through it eventually. But yeah, that can start upgrading. They just can't quite make it to those Hasteberries. That's too bad. But they pretty much done everything they needed to do down here, this Warlord's army. I guess there's the Hall of the Forefathers that may need to be cleared, but I got those mines with these other groups, so I guess the Hall of the Forefathers is next. And then they can start heading north. Research Breakthrough, that's what gave me the little bonus mana that I didn't really take advantage of properly. The Grumpy Cat Mask is done, Tireless Boots are in production. Close that. I might actually just hurry production on those. The city's morale is at 1,014. That's minus 100 happiness for 5 turns with an additional 50 gold cost. But I think I would rather just be able to send both those items off on the same turn. Thinking about doing the same thing here. This city is absurdly happy, but then I could finish all of Zari's equipment in one more turn. Yeah, I like the idea of doing that. Just Zari needs her better stuff, so, and I'm getting anxious to finish this and send it off, so we'll do that. And we'll also do the same thing here. Spend a little extra money, and then all of Zari's items will be ready to ship out on the next turn, all at the same time. Which is good, because I can send them before she gets too far away. So I'm actually kind of saving like 2 turns. Summon Archangel's ready to cast. I'll come back to that. Frodo has won a battle. That's apparently one I could see. Who'd he beat up on? Some independents? Oh, that was... crap, that was one of my vassals. It's not one I was going to be able to protect, though. Oh, wait, was his leader in that? Ah, dang, the notification's gone. I went to check if his leader was in that battle. Okay, Nuxbrom got the Grand Palace, so that's what I was talking about. You can see now it's got that stuff in its territory, but I'm going to take it away by selling the observatory. So we'll close this. And these guys are continuing on their way. I am going to continue to build the road, because these units have to stick together for now. So do like that, and then like that. And they'll just come crashing on through when they get there. I think I can actually save some movement with these guys, because so if I move, I haven't really been doing this right. If I move them as a group, they want to follow the road because the road's faster for the people who are on the ground, but the flying unit can actually shortcut a bit. So if I actually take the flying unit, I can get him just 1 space further, and if they follow the road, they can go 1 space further. They can actually go even further than that. But that sort of keeps... oh crap, this group is not super happy. It's because of the volcanic terrain, isn't it? And I didn't get Domain of the Sun, otherwise I would probably cast that now to make sure nothing bad happened to them. Is there anybody else I can get in the general area over there? The Yeti can't make it. I'm just gonna have to hope that nobody disbands. That would be a shame if I got them all the way back there and then they disbanded. Now I wish I did have Domain of the Sun. I should have picked that one up. But there is nobody else I can get there unless I summon a unit. Maybe, you know what, I'll just summon a Wisp over there or something and just send it in with that army. It should tip the scales. Because the Wisp actually isn't going to mind Yeah, that should balance it out, I think. All I gotta do is get army morale average. Yeah, I think I can fix that. Alright, so we got all this stuff. You know what, I think I've probably been going for close to an hour with this episode, guys. I probably need to wrap this one up here. I'll try to pay more attention to when I'm actually starting these episodes. On the next one, we are going to... Well, you know what? I'm not going to leave you guys on a cliffhanger like that. We'll at the very least spy out where... We'll at the very least try to spy out... Oh, yeah, there's hasteberries up there, too. Good, good, good. I can move one more space and still get the hasteberries. Okay, we know where Elsewhere is. She's right there. I could pick her off, especially with the Wisp being in the area, because I could definitely hit the mountains and then get her. It's more of a question of, well, you know, I think I'm going to grab those hasteberries with this Wisp regardless, because then I can explore up here a bit more. So we'll take those, and then we'll come over here. I can then see that is a vassal. That is a vassal of Tillamook. So my theory about him not being in this area was correct. And because it's a vassal, I probably don't have to worry about other things coming after and killing units that I send up in that direction. Although I can move this guy a bit more this. I think we've got Elsewhere. On the next battle, I think we're going to take her out. Well, not take her out of the game, but we'll be able to knock her out for a few rounds and slow her down quite a bit. So yeah, we're gonna do that. That's gonna be fun. All right, I wasn't anticipating being able to knock her out so quickly, but it looks like she's moved into just the right spot to allow me to do that. I'm glad I moved these guys forward. Other people will have to clear this wizard tower. I'll figure that out on the next turn. I think Hildy with Beast Horde will be able to manage it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. As I said, because I am going to be gone next weekend, there will be 4 more episodes that I'm going to be doing this week. So there will be 5 in total this week, including this one. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Special thanks to all my Patreon supporters, including Tier 3 supporters Blitz, Braden, Dawson Horner, Jimbro, Sarah Feingold, Spanglefan, Tarsak, and Tibby and Army. Thanks so much, everybody.